Tonight on KGW News, decades of memories and 3 beloved pets gone in minutes.
We had home videos from my entire childhood with my mom, and they were in the middle of the house where the fire was the worst, and those are gone.
Then a KGW investigation reveals how often the VA is rejecting these veterans' claims.
They don't have any idea what to do with you when you come in with this disease because it is so rare.
Plus, another day, another coach for Rip City.
It's an opportunity that I could not pass up and was ecstatic to take.
So what's he saying about the fact that Tom Dundon has only given him a year? And later, Portland soccer fans on the edge of their seats as the U.S. tries to hang on to a perfect World Cup record. Good evening. We begin tonight with a family's plea for help after fire destroyed their southeast Portland home, taking with it generations of memories and 3 of their pets. We're glad you're with us tonight. I'm David Molko. A warning, some of the details here may be difficult to hear. Alma McCarty spoke with the homeowner and his daughter.
On Southeast 141st Avenue, this was more than just a house.
It's been in my house, family since 1963 when it was built.
And their dogs were more to Amber Phillips and her dad, Mike Lockard, than just pets.
Obviously, the fire got too hot. The other dogs couldn't get out the back door. Marcus on the glass door in the back where they tried to get out.
Inside the home, years of memories destroyed by the Wednesday morning fire. 3 dogs found inside by firefighters didn't make it. One dog named Rose did survive. Crews took her to Dove Lewis.
They called me and said that my dog had been rescued from a house fire.
Mike had been at his brother's that night and wasn't home when the fire broke out.
It's not right.
Yeah, and the brother.
I don't know. I could have saved him if I was here. I'd be part of it.
Still in shock and trying to salvage what they can.
And I went and looked for my mom's ashes because she died when I was 6. And my uncle's ashes, my dad's beloved uncle, who actually died in this house a couple years ago of natural causes.
They call what's left of the house unrecognizable.
It's really surreal because my piano is melted in the living room.
I didn't know I was in the kitchen.
We couldn't tell where we were.
I didn't know where I was at. It's just black and there's nothing. The refrigerator was burnt all the way through.
Despite the extensive damage, their goal, they say, repair and rebuild.
We got the new roof last month and we were waiting for his disability check that comes next week to get the homeowner's insurance. So we just want to try and rebuild it.
Portland Fire and Rescue continues to investigate the cause of the fire, and as they do, Amber and Mike are asking for help, raising money to find housing for Mike, cover basic necessities, and begin cleanup and recovery. We'll have a link on KGW.com. David?
Yeah, one family going through so much tonight. Alma McCarty there. Thanks, Alma. Well, speaking of fires, Hillsboro firefighters are still at the scene tonight of a home that caught fire in Southeast Oak. This was a dangerous one. They say crews had to rescue 2 people from the 2nd story working in heavy smoke and flames. They got one person out a window and had to cut a hole in the wall to save a second. Both were taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Firefighters keeping an eye on the fire overnight to make sure it does not reignite. No word yet on the cause. To an update tonight on another tragedy, this one in Beaverton, where police have identified a 14-year-old hit and killed by a car while riding an e-scooter. This is a look at the memorial that's growing for Jacob Tran along Southwest Shoals Ferry near Roy Rogers, where he was hit. Jacob would have been a freshman at Mountainside High this fall. He was on his way to summer football workout Wednesday morning when he was hit. Police say Tran was wearing a helmet and in a marked crosswalk at the time. The driver, the 16-year-old, is cooperating with police. In Venezuela tonight, new video shows several successful rescues following the powerful earthquakes there. That includes 3 children pulled from the rubble alive. Video also records the moments the first of the quakes hit. People running into the streets in a panic as buildings crumbled. The country's main international airport also shut down after suffering extensive damage. New estimates put the number of people killed at 235, with at least 4,300 hurt. Authorities say declaring a state of emergency with concerns the threat isn't over.
It's not a common occurrence, but it is something that does happen sometimes. There will absolutely be aftershocks that follow this earthquake, and some of them could be quite large and damaging.
The U.S. has pledged $150 million in aid, with the State Department deploying search and rescue teams to the region. Well, let's switch to a live look over the Rose City now, where the rain has returned. Refreshing to see the heat make its way out and some of that dust get washed away. It's about time. Matt, it sounds like we're going to be wet for a while. How long are we talking?
Yeah, right on into the weekend, a good part of the weekend. It's been a pretty good soaker tonight, too, David. Here's our sky cam down in Salem. You can see the water on the lens there as the rain continues to fall. 54 degrees. Really cooled off rapidly. I mean, the day, for the most part, is pretty good. It's cloudy, up around 70. Then late in the afternoon, the rain set in, and it's been with us pretty much since then. We're running a good 15, 17 degrees colder now than we were at this time last night. So think about that. We're up around, 70, 75 degrees this time last night, but not anymore. See the rain pushing along the I-5 corridor right now. Breaks up over the coast range, but it's not over. There's more going to be, that will be coming on in. You see another band of showers offshore right there. So yes, we are in the rain zone, and we're going to stay in this new weather regime for a couple days, several days actually to come. So far, the airport's picked up 0.3 of an inch already, which is impressive. I mean, the overall forecast for the week is about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch, and we're well on our way there already. So tomorrow, showers on and off throughout the day. Another cool day. We'll talk more about Saturday and Sunday later, David.
Yeah, I got to say, it feels pretty good, though. Thanks,
Sure
Matt.
does.
To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, police in Spokane have arrested a man they say shot and killed a teen last year at a Gresham Park. Detectives identifying the suspect as Camarino Vides. They say he shot 17-year-old Jorge Vasquez in an unprovoked attack at Vance Park. Earlier this week, law enforcement in Spokane identified Vides while he was in custody for a different case. He's now awaiting extradition to Oregon. New tonight, Tigard police are investigating after a man allegedly attacked 2 people at an apartment building, slashing one of them with a machete. According to court documents, one victim was visiting a friend at the complex on Northeast 72nd when the suspect, a Mahmoud Bilal, confronted him, telling him he didn't belong there. Bilal is accused of punching and kicking that man, then cutting his friend with a machete when he tried to stop the attack. That friend suffered cuts to his hand. Prosecutors are now asking a judge to keep Bilal in jail, saying he has a history of unprovoked attacks on strangers. And Multnomah County commissioners have unanimously approved new rules keeping mobile syringe distribution sites at least 1,000 feet away from schools. County leaders say the goal is to reduce discarded needles near children while keeping so-called harm reduction services available in other locations. The new ordinance officially takes effect in late July, with enforcement primarily focused on education beginning in August. To a follow-up to a KGW investigation, and one that is revealing the true scope of veterans being denied benefits for a rare, incurable muscle disease. Investigator reporter Kyle Aboshi's work in part convinced the VA to change its mind about at least one case, and tonight he's digging through the data.
For months, we shared the stories of veterans diagnosed with a rare muscle disease called inclusion body myositis, or IBM, which many believe was caused by their military service.
Obviously, there's a correlation.
And each story had a common theme. The VA rejected their initial disability claim.
They deny every initial claim almost automatically.
It was denied. It was denied almost immediately.
I was denied.
New data obtained through a Freedom of Information Act request shows 306 veterans filed IBM-related disability claims over the past 5 years. The VA approved just 55 of them. Most, 251, were denied. And the number of veterans filing claims is rising sharply. It's more than tripled in 4 years.
Look at me. Live my life for a day. I wouldn't wish this on anybody.
Greg Rathburn and his wife Lori live in Southern Oregon. They've been fighting for benefits for more than a decade.
I had to put my effort, and he had to put his effort into his care and just getting through each day, and we just couldn't put the effort into it anymore, so we gave up.
In early June, VA Secretary Doug Collins said veterans are being evaluated on a case-by-case basis, while a scientific panel examines the link between IBM and military service. Results are not expected until next summer.
We just need to make sure that we're continuing to get the evidence, continuing to follow up on what our veterans are telling us, and that will show us the clear path to what we need to do.
But the veterans and their attorneys say the evidence is clear, and waiting is not an option. There is no pause button for IBM. There is no cure.
It's catastrophic. These veterans are slowly, progressively getting worse and worse. They're denied the benefits.
Attorney Ursula McCabe points to ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, as a model for how the VA could treat IBM differently. Veterans with ALS automatically qualify for service-connected benefits because the disease occurs in veterans at a much higher rate than the general population.
Seriously look at it the way they looked at ALS and the prevalence in the veteran community, because it deserves a serious review.
Last year alone, 91 veterans filed IBM claims. The VA denied 71 of them.
They don't have any idea what to do with you when you come in with this disease because it is so rare.
Greg Rathburn finally got the benefits he fought for. The VA revisited his case after our reporting and reversed its denial. But the data shows that seldom happens. For most, there is no news coverage, no attorney, and no reversal. Their story ends with a denial.
Kyle Laboshi shining a spotlight there. Senator Ron Wyden and others asking the VA to track IBM cases and to speed up the review. Much more on this in our full investigative documentary. It's called Diagnosis Denied, available on demand right now on our free TV streaming app. That is KGW+. Well, a new era of Blazers basketball is officially underway with the team officially introducing its new head coach. He is Micah Nori, comes to Rip City after 5 seasons as an assistant with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, on day one, Nori promising what he calls relentless physicality, saying the Blazers will no longer lead the league in turnovers per game. That's a depressing stat, though his contract does not come with a lot of job security. A 1-year deal with options to extend, which GM Joe Cronin says balances risk and reward. For who? I guess Nori says he's been tasked by owner Tom Dundon with winning, and he sees high potential.
A playoff roster, adding a future Hall of Famer in this great city with this fan base and the support that we get, it's an opportunity that I could not pass up, and it was ecstatic to take.
All right, welcome to Portland. The backdrop here, ongoing negotiations between the city, which owns Moda, and the Blazers over a lease extension and funding upgrades for the aging arena, which could all impact whether Rip City remains in the Rose.